All right, everybody, now that your A section is composed, you're ready to finish it up and turn this into either your AB, your binary composition, or your ABA. Now in this demo, I'm going to show you both the AB and an ABA. You'll choose either one of them, but I just wanted you to have sort of a demonstration of both of them. To get started, we're going to go ahead and, we've got our 8-measure A section ready to go. So we're going to come up here to the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner that's underneath here. I'm going to open that up, and that's going to open up our song sections dialog box. You can see here we've got our 8-bar A section. To add it, simply tap the add, and boom, we get a B section. You can even see behind there, it just added an 8-bar or 8-measure B section. Now, one thing that's really important, people make this mistake all the time, students do. Before we leave this, you have to make sure you tap on the all sections like that. Make sure that that's highlighted gray so that when you tap out of here, you can see all this. If you don't do that, a very common mistake, let me just show you right here. If you don't do that, what happens is, like let's say you have the B section highlighted and I tap anywhere in the area here to close this, all of a sudden it looks like your song disappeared. You go, oh, wait a minute, Mrs. Byrne, Mr. Cellini, Mr. Search, where'd my song go? Well, again, make sure that's highlighted all sections and then you can see it. So as you can see, I've got my A section right here. We listened to that in the last demo and I'm ready to start the B section. Now, to make the B section, boys and girls, you want this to connect to the A section, not just all of a sudden be a bunch of new random loops and everything like that. So I know I'm working in country, and underneath the loops, I've still got it sorted by the genre right here, filtered, I should say, by genre, so I'm getting the country ones, but I have some decisions to make. So one thing that, this cheerful mandolin was really prominent in my A section, and I had a lot there with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that behind. I'm not going to use that. But I do like this drum set, so I'm just going to take this drum set and literally just expand this all the way across as the start of my B section. Let's listen a little bit. I'm going to start with the end of the And that drum continues across, so that's a nice way to do that. In fact, I also like the clapping that I have here. So here's another example where some loops or tracks you'll be able to drag across. Occasionally you may have to. Now to get to that menu, let me show you. I'm just going to tap here on the green to highlight it and double tap. And one of the options that I get is to copy. So I'm going to copy that, put my scrubber right here, tap in this area, and choose paste. And as you can see, I've just continued that hand clap from across. And I've got that, and that's good. Now, what I've decided, I've got my drums here, and I'm going to leave that mandolin alone. But if I open up the loops, I can see down here, now I was using Cheerful Mandolin 23. I also have Cheerful Mandolin 10 and Cheerful Mandolin 7, and I noticed that those are 2 bars each. And then up here in my drums, I have 2 what are called fills. Drum fills are just usually a 1-bar thing that sets up other instruments coming in. So I kind of took a look at that and I thought, gee, maybe it might be fun to sort of, feature these instruments and have like 2 bars of another mandolin playing like this. And then maybe go to one of the drum fills and just feature that. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to do that thing right now. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, boys and girls. Now remember, ready? I'm just using this as a way. I've closed that one down. And I'm going to bring this up so you can see. Now this represented probably, for me, about an hour's work later a little bit. I went and had some fun with it and did that so to finish it up in time. And as you can see here, there's that brush template coming across. I kept the hand claps going. And then I kind of came up with this sort of battle back and forth between the 2 mandolin parts and between the 2 drums. So I'm going to start it right here and let's give that a listen. Oh, and one more thing I want to point out. To end the composition, to give it an ending, I'm just going to tell it to fade out. That's the easiest way to do it. So to access the fade, I'm going to come up under this gear right here. And you can see right down here, fade out is on. So when it gets to the end of the track, or right in here, it'll simply fade out and sound like it ends. Let's listen to the track from right about here. Let's see what that sounds like. And then it just fades right away into the end. And right there you notice I have a binary composition, right? I gave myself a little introduction here. I've got my A section, then I've got my B section, and a fade at the end. Boys and girls, it can be that simple. You have A, B, you're done and set and ready to go, and you'll just submit that one in as your final composition. Of course, do a screen recording of it, which we have the how to do a screen recording tutorial video, and we'll talk about that in class, and we have you right there. Now, I'm going to, and some of you can simply stop the video right there and go, but let me take this a step further and I'll show you an example of ABA. Quite frankly, it's not really that much more complicated. It's just a matter of a couple of things to do. So to turn this to ABA, I'm going to start by coming up to the Song Sections dialog box again. Now I've got my A and my B right here, and you can see I can duplicate a section. So obviously it's pretty common sense to the section I want to duplicate is my A. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and choose duplicate, and already you could see behind that A section pops in again. I remember to choose all sections and then tap anywhere out here. Am I going to get that? And as you can see, I've got my A, the B, and there's A repeated again. Now, in this case, I don't want it to go back and have this introduction section, right? So I don't need to hear me telling everybody to clap again. So I'm just going to tap on that, tap on it again, and then an option I get is to delete. And you might just have to go back and clean, just kind of clean a couple of these things up, particularly if you had an introduction. I'm going to leave the cheerful mandolin playing for sure. I'm going to grab my drums right here because I want them to start right away at the beginning of the section. And then again, you remember I tapped the back of it and pulled that across so it plays. Then, I've got things to move back here and bass to take care of. Here we go again. Ready? And this actually really didn't take much longer, boys and girls. I'm going to jump ahead to my ABA composition form, and voila, look at this. Now you can see I've got my A section, that short little intro with my cheerful mandolin playing. Then I go to the B section with the little battle between the drums and the other mandolin parts, and then it all comes back and fades through like that. Let's go ahead and give this one a listen so you can hear the ABA. All right, y'all clap your hands now. And there you have it. That's the ABA. And remember, it's your choice. Maybe your piece works better as a binary AB, or maybe it works better as an ABA. The final step after you've completed this, boys and girls, come on up with a fun name for that, a fun title. So this is my finished project right here. I decided to call it Pickin' in Quarantine, right? Give it a sort of a country name and sort of tie it in with the work that we've been doing here today. Boys and girls, I hope that you have as much fun. This was my first opportunity to do this project, and I certainly had a lot of fun with it. I hope you have as much fun with it. When you've reached this, either of these two, whether you do your AB or your ABA, and we'll talk to you in class about this, you're going to do a screen recording of that, and that's what you're going to submit as your final project. We do look forward to seeing and hearing these. So long.